everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of our Prep Sports Highlight Show here on Sportscenetv.net. I'm Anthony Saranana. In this week's show, you'll be watching an abridged version as Don Lugo and Ayala both had a bye week. But on the other hand, we still have plenty of highlights as the Chino Hills Huskies made the long drive to Temecula to face another Division II team, the Great Oaks WOLFPACK. So let's head out to Temecula to watch this game and see who will emerge as the Alpha Pack. After last week's huge 32-point victory over West Covina, the Chino Hills Huskies made the long journey to the city of Temecula to face the Great Oak WOLFPACK, as it would be the Huskies' final non-league game of the season. Chino Hills would get on the board first on this one-yard touchdown run from quarterback Matt Simcoe for the touchdown. The PAT was no good, and the Huskies took the 6-0 lead with 7:25 remaining in the first quarter. Great Oak would come back with this pass from quarterback Carson Luna to Kyle Rue, who gets to the end zone for the 24-yard touchdown. The PAT was good, and the Wolfpack take the 7-6 lead with 3:05 remaining in the first quarter. On the Huskies' next drive, quarterback Matt Simcoe shows off his cannon-like arm with this 30-yard pass that's caught by his teammate Joseph Lotta at the Wolfpack 38-yard line. A few plays later, the Huskies' Louis Nopolis from the 2 yards out pounds his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The two-point attempt was no good, and the Huskies take the lead 12-7 with 1:07 left in the first quarter. Trailing 13-12 in the second quarter, the Huskies' Matt Simcoe again hits teammate Joseph Lotta for the 17-yard touchdown and regains the lead 20-13 after the two-point conversion was good with 1:33 remaining in the second quarter. Moving into the third quarter, the Huskies' offense stays on target with a short pass to Jack Austin, who turns it into a big gain, getting the ball inside the red zone. This sets up a Simcoe pass to Joseph Lotta in the end zone for the 12-yard touchdown. Chino Hills Huskies take a 27-13 lead with 9:31 left in the third quarter. Still in the third quarter, Simcoe continues to showcase his passing talent with his 32-yard pass that's caught by a running Jack Austin, who sprints into the end zone. The PAT was no good, and Chino Hills takes a 33-13 lead with 5:28 remaining in the third quarter. On the ensuing kickoff, Great Oaks' Recon Yates gets the ball deep in Wolfpack territory and turns on the Rocket Boosters to run the ball back 87 yards to the Huskies' 6-yard line. That sets up the 1-yard touchdown run by Jacob Certeza as the Wolfpack trailed 33-20 with 4 minutes left in the third. Still in the third quarter, Huskies running back Louis Nopolis would run the ball 8 yards into the end zone, and the Huskies would go on to win the game 41-20. That would give the Huskies a record of 3-1-1 heading into league play in 2 weeks as they will face the Charter Oak Chargers. We had a chance to talk to head coach Derek Bubb of the Chino Hills Huskies, and here's what he had to say. We're here with head coach Derek Bubb, Chino Hills Huskies, 41-20. Seems like that's been the status quo for your team. You like the fours, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play well in the first half. I mean, offensively and defensively, we just didn't play very well. We, blame it on the road trip, blame it on whatever it might be. Give Great Oak all the credit in the world. They came after us. They were more physical than us in the first half. Second half of football was kind of the tale of two stories. Second half of football, we really challenged our kids to come after them and be more physical, and we ended up doing that, and obviously came away with a good win.
All right, so sum up for me what your thoughts on the non-league season are for you, as this is the last game of the 2012 non-league season.
3-1-1 and with a non-league that I think is as tough as anybody's. Made us ready for Sierra League, and we'll find out how ready we are. We got a big game against Charter Oak in 2 weeks, and we'll take a week off and get back after it and try to keep improving.
As you mentioned, improvements. What are some things that you'd like to see improvement as you go into league play?
I'd like us to play 4 quarters of football. I mean, I challenged our kids today to play 4 quarters of football. And there could be a million reasons why that didn't happen, but we got to come out and play 4 quarters of football. I think we can be a pretty darn good football team when we do that, but we could be a pretty bad football team at times. And if we're going to go far in this league, if we're going to go far in the playoffs, we've got to be able to play 4 quarters of football and keep getting better. And I think that's the goal. So far, we've done that. I look at us from game 0 to now, and I think that we've done that. Preseason, we don't have any injuries, so I think there's a lot to be happy about. But we know Sierra League's going to be a tough one this year.
Finally, let's end up in a positive note. What have you seen from your team that you like going into the league season?
When we play defense, I think we can play great lights out defense. I mean, today we gave up 7 early, and then gave up a couple field goals. But when we play defense, we can play some pretty good defense, and obviously offense can score at will on a lot of teams. So we feel like we've got the good 1-2 punch. We've got to clean a lot of things up on our special teams, though. So that's the third part of the game that we're really going to have to work on over the
Checking out the rest of the Sierra League scoreboard, the Damien Spartans are victorious over TEMECUL Canyon, 31-10. South Hills wins a close one over Monrovia, 30-27, and Claremont wins 31-14 over Northwoods. Ayala had a bye, but will open up next Friday against Kaiser. Last week, the Chino Cowboys' victory over Los Altos solidified their offensive attack, and it carried on through into the first week of league play against the Ontario Jaguars. In the game, quarterback Josh Thornton was 7 for 17 in passing for 128 yards and 1 touchdown. The Cowboys' running game scored 2 touchdowns. Ontario fell victim to the penalty flag as frustration set in late in the game as a fumble recovery turned into a pushing match that led to a 15-yard personal foul. Chino scored first in the game with a touchdown run by Christian Galvez to take a 7-0 lead with 8 minutes left in the first half. Chino would take a 14-0 lead with another touchdown with 6:44 left in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Cowboys' Jonathan Lazard gets into the end zone to give the Cowboys another touchdown, as Chino would go on to win their first league game with a 21-7 victory over Ontario. Next Friday, Chino will host crosstown rival Don Lugo in the annual Milk Can game. Looking at the rest of the Mount Baldy League scoreboard, as it is for the first week of league play for them, Colony wins their first game of the year with the league home opener over Montclair 42-13, and Chaffee gets the win over Gary 45-14. It's now time for our Roscoe's Highlight of the Week, sponsored by Roscoe's Famous Deli. This week's highlight is best expressed with a montage of highlights of the efforts from the Chino Hills Huskies quarterback Matt Simcoe's performance as he had another successful offensive attack over the Great Oaks Wolfpack. This has been the Roscoe's Famous Deli Highlight of the Week. I would love to see your amazing highlight videos from the games you attend. If your video is selected by our producers as the Roscoe's Highlight of the Week, then you will receive a $25 gift card to Roscoe's Famous Deli. All you have to do is email them to us at videos@sportscenetv.net. It's now time for our Dick's Sporting Goods Scholar Athlete of the Week. And in this segment, we highlight a student athlete who not only does well on the field, but also excels academically. This week's Dick's Sporting Goods Scholar Athlete of the Week is an athlete well known to our viewers, and that is Chino Hills Huskies' Louis Nopolis. We're here with our Dick's Sporting Goods Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's Louis Nopolis of the Chino Hills Huskies. Louis, thanks for joining us. Would like to find out your GPA and your grade level.
I'm a senior at Chino Hills High School, and my GPA is a 3.9.
And do you have a certain college or colleges that you're looking at to go to school?
2 colleges I want to go to school is the Air Force Academy or West Point Academy.
And what would you like to do with your degree?
Well, I would obviously want to become an officer, but I'd be a degree in military strategic and defense and lead by example and go out there and serve our country.
All right, and someone that is an influence or a mentor to you in your life so far?
I'd have to say one of my coaches, Coach Del Campo. He's been there with me ever since I've started playing football, and he's actually got me into going to the academy, so I thank him and credit him a lot.
All right, some lighter stuff here. You have a favorite video game, and what games do you like to play, and what system?
I like to play on the Xbox 360, and I like to play Battlefield 3.
All right, and is there anything you like to do before a game to kind of relax or get yourself in the zone?
Usually I'll listen to music, or I'll just watch some highlights of something, just relax, try not to be all tense, just keep it cool and nice.
All right, and finally, Mac or PC kind of world for you?
I say Mac.
Your Mac? You getting the iPhone 5? Did you get that already?
I haven't gotten it. The line's way too long for that right now.
Yeah, you got other things to worry about, like football, right?
Yeah, this game right now.
That's right. So let's clear up the air real quick. We were talking about the name Louis Nopolis. That's the pronunciation.
Yes, sir.
What other names have you been given in the past?
I've been given Napoli's, Naples. Some people call me Naps for short. And just, I don't bother with it because I hear it so much, but yep, it's Nopolis with the A's long.
All right, well, this is Louis Nopolis, our Dick's Sporting Goods Scholar Athlete of the Week from the Chino Hills Huskies. We would like to thank Dick's Sporting Goods for sponsoring our Scholar Athlete of the Week. Now, later in the month, you, the viewer, will have a chance to vote for our Scholar Athlete of the Month, and the student who receives the most viewer votes will have a Dick's Sporting Goods gift certificate donated to their school's football program in that student athlete's name. So be sure to go to our website, sportscenetv.net, for our upcoming viewer poll. Well, that concludes this edition of our weekly Prep Sports Highlight Show here on Sportscenetv.net. Now remember to follow us on Twitter each Friday night for our score updates and games going on throughout the local area. And make sure to follow us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest prep sports coverage. Also, be sure to go to our website, Sportscenetv.net, where we bring you the latest videos, stats, and of course, our weekly Prep Sports podcast, where we recap games in detail and interview coaches. So, for the entire staff here at Sportscenetv.net, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.